Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sultan. Today I'm going to go through another portfolio update for you guys, and I'm going to go through exactly why I chose to sell AT&T. Yes, I chose to sell AT&T. I'm also going to go through my dividends income at this moment, exactly how much I'm making per month and in the total year. I'm also going to go through exactly how many stocks I have at this moment in time, what I'm invested into, what I do plan on doing in the future. So without wasting too much time, let's dive straight into it. So as you can see from the title and the thumbnail, I currently have 3,000 invested in my portfolio. So right here I have £3,348 in total. I actually have £2 to invest, but yeah, we can ignore that. And right here we can see that my return is at 7%, which isn't too bad. It's actually quite good for this kind of portfolio. My return went down slightly because I chose to invest a lot more money into several stocks, so this is going to actually reduce my return in total, but it's still very, very good. We can see that in total all my stocks are pretty much greens, besides from just 3 stocks. Everything else is in the green, which is really, really, really good. So before I actually dive into the portfolio and everything else along that line, I'm going to go for exactly why I chose to sell AT&T. So the major thing is that AT&T has chosen to cut their dividends, and they're going to reduce their dividends by 45%, which is pretty much 50%. Sort of significant. Usually I wouldn't actually sell any stocks just due to dividend cut. Well, if it's not too significant anyway, but I chose to sell AT&T because this is something quite significant. They also mentioned at one point that the dividends income is all good, nothing's going to change. They pretty much told us investors that everything's all good, everything's smooth, which is obviously not exactly true, because the changes that they made is something that would have been in the talks for quite some time, several months, maybe 6 months, 7 months, I don't know how long, but it's something that isn't just sudden. You don't just decide to make drastic changes like that. So hearing from AT&T that the stocks and everything like that is all good, and suddenly they cut their dividend, isn't exactly true. It's kind of a bit of a shady thing from AT&T. Another thing is also the money that they owe. It's nothing major for me. I've been holding on to AT&T regardless of this, but now it's becoming a bit more of a prominent issue because it's always been spoken about. Things are always changing, so now it's almost like AT&T is now a bit unsettled now. And I've always wanted to invest in stocks that are pretty much like, I know exactly how it's going to be in the next 5 years, 10 years. AT&T right now is making a lot of moves, making a lot of changes, which is actually affecting their business. So I don't know how this is all going to play out, but we'll have to see. So I'm not saying I'm not going to buy AT&T back. I probably will when things actually stabilize slightly. We'll have to see how what they plan on doing, exactly what moves they plan on making. Another major thing for AT&T is that Amazon actually made a bid of 9 million for MGM, which is very, very significant. This could potentially make Amazon the top streaming company, and this can be a very, very significant competition for AT&T. We'll have to see how the future what the future holds and things like that, but Amazon getting into this, and this them actually trying to be a prominent competitor for several streaming businesses and things like that. We will have to see how AT&T handles this. So back to the portfolio, you guys already know what companies I'm holding, so I'm not going to waste time going through that, but we can see that right now I actually have 31 investments. So now my highest investment is Volta Income at 7.15%. This is my monthly, my monthly stock, so it's quite good. I'm always gonna get a significant amount every single month to reinvest back into the stock market. So then we can see Clark, AbbVie, Chevron, 3M, and all the stocks that I really, really like. I've already been through this in several videos, so you guys can go and check those out to understand exactly why I have these different stocks. Now to dive into exactly what stocks I actually invested into, so I'm gonna go through this right here. So here you can see that I bought 1 share of Pemba, I bought 1 share of Main Street Capital, I bought 0.35 shares of Omni Group, and I also bought 1 share of Leg. I also deposited more money just because I wanted to buy even more and more. So I actually went above how much I initially planned on investing, but I just thought, let me just continue to put more. I don't want to say I get addicted, but I just love investing in stocks. After reading what most companies plan on doing, it's sort of enticing to just put money into it before I lose my opportunity, sort of thing. But I also chose to buy another share of UGI. I also bought another share of 1OK. I also bought General Electrics. I bought 2 more shares of Main Street Capital. I bought AbbVie. I basically bought quite a few. You can see that I bought quite a few things. I sold AT&T. I almost had about 5 shares. I was on 4.8 9 shares. So I sold AT&T for £103, and the best thing I did was just reinvest this again into other companies that I believe will make me either the same amount of money or even more than AT&T did. But I'm just going to scroll so you guys can see, all the shares I bought. Feel free to pause if you want to, see what I decided to buy into. These are companies that I just believe will pretty much continue to do well, no matter what, and regardless of what they go through, I'm probably still going to continue to buy and hold. Some of these I also bought during a dip, of course. Even if they're not doing too well, I choose to buy even more because we understand that buying when it's cheaper is always the best thing to do, so your money can go a long way. But moving on from this, now you guys might want to know exactly how much dividends I'm now making from this £3,300 portfolio. So I haven't been paid dividends yet since I invested into these stocks, but before I was paid, so this was when I was on, let's say, 2,500. A few dividends I actually received was from Pemba. I'm still receiving around that 20 pence to about 50. Some of them are actually significantly higher. So AT&T, for example, paid me £1.26. So it actually was pretty hard to sell AT&T, I'm not gonna lie, because they're a really big company. I love the shares and everything like that, but again, I wouldn't be getting this amount of money because they cut their dividends now. So this kind of changes the game a little bit. So Gap actually did pay me their dividends now. Finally, I'm still holding on to Gap for a very long time. Gap just had to pay dividends. I'm still not really going to put any money into Gap just because I'm not really too sure what they're doing. I haven't actually had time to take a look at, Gap's dividends, if they plan on holding and anything like that. So for now, I'm just going to hold on to it. So right here, we can see the changes that investing, more money has actually done to the portfolio. It's just going to continue to increase the amount of money I'm going to make, and this is just going to keep compounding over and over again. So this is exactly why I really love dividend investing. I haven't been paid these dividends yet, but we can see that I'm going to receive 68 from Walgreen Boot. 3M is going to actually pay me £1.06. So though this is past the date, this app is slightly, it's not the most accurate, but it's pretty much telling me that I'm going to receive some dividends from these companies pretty soon, probably in the next week or even less than that. We can also see that I'm going to receive 81 pence from Johnson & Johnson. Pemba is going to pay me 48. And here we can even see more, Main Street Capital is going to pay me tomorrow. And bear in mind, Main Street actually pays monthly dividends as well. We can see that Gap earning is going to be, revealed tomorrow. So right here, I can now choose to invest more money into Gap if I really wanted to. We can also see that Realty Income is going to pay me again in the next, one day. Intel. So you can pretty much see all the dividend income that I'm going to get in the next 2 weeks, and it is quite a lot. Like, look at it, this is ridiculous. This is a lot of dividends, in the next month, pretty much, if you want to put it that way. And here, more earnings, more dividends over time, and yeah, that's pretty much, the dividends I'm going to be earning. Of course, feel free to pause, by the way, and anytime during this video. I don't want it to drag too long, hence I'm sort of just rushing or going through it, so you guys can pause to look at the details precisely if you really want to. So now I'm actually earning £8.24 every single month. I finally reached my goal of £8 simply because my phone bill is actually £8. So now my dividends is now actually covering my phone bill, guaranteed 100%, and with that is just really good. Now my phone bill is totally covered, and we can see that in 2022, if I don't invest a single penny, it says that I will be receiving £10.78 every single month. But £10 isn't too bad. This can actually help me to buy a few more shares, and this is just gonna add more and more. So £10 every single month isn't too bad. That's like a couple more hours of pay, or an hour of pay, or whatever you want to see it as. But £10 every single month for doing absolutely nothing is really good. I'm earning 0.35 pence daily. Of course, again, this isn't significant, but this is just to show you guys the growth from a small dividend account and just seeing exactly how it grows. And you can actually go back to my £500 portfolio just to see the changes that have been made from since then up to now in less than a year. So this is a good progress so far, and I can't wait till next year to even increase this even more, because of course I'm not just gonna stop right now. I'm probably going to add even more and more money. So the goal is obviously to reach £10,000. I really want to see how my portfolio is going to be when I reach that mark. Probably not this year, but we'll see. By God's grace, everything actually goes according to plan and even better. So for the future, what I actually plan on doing is, of course, just investing even more. I'm not too sure about what stocks I'm going to sell or what I'm going to do or what's going to change right now. I'm going to continue reading on companies and seeing exactly what they plan on doing. If I do need to sell some companies, I will, but you guys know I pretty much don't sell 90 99% of the time I don't sell unless I have to. But at the same time, I don't intend on going over that 31, you know, companies or shares. I really don't want to make my portfolio too big. It's going to be hard to monitor every single stock. So what I might do, if I do end up buying another company, I'm going to have to make sure it's better than the one that I currently have. So that way I'm increasing the amount of money I'm making rather than, you know, losing money. So that's just a brief insight on my current dividend income, you know, in the month of June. So I do hope you guys enjoyed that. I do hope you found any value. If you did, then be sure to actually drop a like and be sure to subscribe. I really appreciate it. You know, I really appreciate the growth and, you know, the support that you guys are actually providing. I do, you know, appreciate the comments. I always read every single one. So be sure to leave a comment down below if you'd like to ask any questions or say anything. And if you do want to get any share worth up to £200, be sure to use the link down below in the description, and you can get yourself a share worth up to £200 to either keep, or you can sell it and take the money and, you know, call it a day. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.